Yo, it's your boy Skinnyfromthe9, Big Skinny, not the mini, back at y'all with another video. And right now we're going to talk about the whole situation with Sharp and Almighty Suspect. So by now, everybody knows Sharp has been fired from No Jumper. He's been beefing with the whole entire No Jumper cast. Almighty Suspect basically said he's going to slap the when he sees him. And this was said because, you know, they've just been making a lot of accusations towards each other. Sharp said that Almighty Suspect was running away from Blueface when Blueface did a No Jumper interview, and Suspect said that Sharp has the Jay-Z watch that's fake, a fake Patek, the fake blue Patek that is very rare. They only made like 15 of them, and that's like $100,000 watch. You know, Sharp has been accused of drinking Damn Homie's piss. And Sharp was saying that he got paid the most at No Jumper. And Almighty Suspect basically just been saying that Sharp's whole character and his whole persona is fake. And it's just been a lot of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a time where Almighty Suspect actually called out Sharp and said, "We're not friends," you know? And I thought it'd be good for me to chime into this situation because, one, I know both parties. Well, I don't know Sharp that well, and I don't know Almighty Suspect that well, but I can say that I've hung out with both of them on two separate occasions, right? And Almighty Suspect, I done kicked it with him when I was doing the news. You know, Almighty Suspect invited me out to this chicken spot. You know, we got some food. He invited me to his homie crib where we were playing Fight Night. We was just chopping it up. We got a shape up. And, you know, I always got good vibes from Suspect. From Suspect, the vibe I get from Almighty Suspect is real. Like, that's the person you get. You know what I'm saying? He's not fake, okay? And to some people might not like that. You know, some people think that, you know, maybe you could be too brutally honest, or, you know, you're too real, you know, you hurt people's feelings. But, you know, that's the type of person Almighty Suspect is. You know, that's just how he is. And you got to appreciate people like that sometimes. You know, at least you can always be sure that Almighty Suspect ain't going to talk behind your back when you're not around. You know? And nowadays, that's hard to find. You can't find people like that in the world, because a lot of people going to talk behind your back and never say it to your face. A lot of people going to throw salt on your name in front of women when you're not around. Like, oh, why you mess with him? You know he's broke. Or why you mess with him? You know, there's a lot of people like that in the world, and you don't get that from Suspect, right? Suspect is real and raw, uncut. Now, when I hung out with Sharp, right? So I didn't really hang out with Sharp, but, you know, me and Sharp had well, Sharp was doing it. I was just joining him because that's what Adam had said. They were doing the whole the cool kicks thing. So I don't know if you guys ever seen that episode. The episode of Sharp, I'm in it a little bit, but like, our chemistry just wasn't there. You know, like, from the moment I got there, I could tell Sharp is just a very cocky person. You know, he's cocky and he wants to be the center of attention 24/7, and he doesn't really he doesn't acknowledge who you are. Or maybe he just didn't know me. You know what I'm saying? But like, when you do like, I've been a bigger star than Sharp has been his whole entire career. And I don't mean to say that while I'm trying to throw salt on Sharp's name. Like, I've just done more than Sharp if we get from like from a celebrity status. Nothing that he's done in the game with the whole you know, the blade and the whole pimping thing. But when it comes to like celebrity and things that we've done, I've done more than you, Sharp. And, you know, I've never been a cocky type person. And I'm not going to say that Sharp's a bad guy. I just feel like even we were talking about jewelry, you know, I had my Patek, I had my Cuban, you know, I felt like he tried to play my jewelry, and like, my shit was real. Like, you guys seen the video where I sold my Cuban? My Cuban was $10,000, you know? So we had a conversation about jewelry, and I just feel like he tried to play my jewelry. And like, you know, and just like when we were doing the content with the cool kicks, mind you, I wasn't really supposed to be there, but like, I'm in there, and it was just, I was very awkward. Like, I know that when I'm doing content with somebody, regardless if I don't know who they are, it's like I've never been selfish with the camera. I've never been cocky with the camera, right? So like if we're doing content together, I'm gonna get you in there. If you're somebody, why not? I don't care about being the center of attention. I don't care about being, because like what some people like Sharp don't realize is the fans like to see people interacting with each other. If you got a fan base and I got a fan base, the fans like to see us like acknowledging each other and talking to each other. You know, it creates good conversation. It creates good engagement. It creates, and you know, maybe we could have a disagreement on camera. Now we got some controversy. Now the fans want us to argue. Like all that stuff creates views. You know what I'm saying? So when Sharp just like kind of, I felt like he just undermined me, or maybe he just didn't fuck with me. You know, but then I done seen him again in Vegas. I was with Yella and a bunch of other people at some club, and it was like he was a little drunk. He was like, "Yo, Church, I fuck with you. Like keep doing your thing." But it was just kind of just like weird to me how like when we did the collab with the sneakers, like I don't know. But I'm not gonna say Sharp's a bad guy, and this video is not to trash Sharp in any way, shape, or form. He's cool, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like he's just a little out of touch with reality. Like he thinks he's bigger than he is, and he thinks he's super, 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 super cool. And my guy, like it's okay to feel that way about yourself, but like you gotta be able to like acknowledge your peers a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And we had met a third time where it was me, him, Brick Baby, and King Yella. We went to like some wilding out thing. J Main was with us. You know, I rode in the car with Brick Baby and Sharp on the way there. And, you know, just once again, like, you know, me and Brick Baby tight. But it was just hella awkward with Sharp. Like, Sharp just didn't say nothing to me. Maybe Sharp saw the videos of me getting jumped and beat up, or maybe Sharp saw the videos of me, or maybe he heard the snitch allegations, and maybe he just doesn't mess with me. But when you compare it to Almighty Suspect probably knows everything, heard all the bad stuff about me. Almighty Suspect acknowledged me. Almighty Suspect, you know, we done hung out, kicked it. So that's where I like, I don't get it. You know, I don't know who's wrong in the situation. But then it's like, it really comes to like, who cares? At the end of the day, people are gonna have their own opinion and feel how they feel about you. Just like how I feel about Suspect, and just like how I feel about Sharp. Both gave me two different experiences, and I can agree with Almighty Suspect in this situation. And then as far as like just getting fired from No Jumper, like when it all comes down to it, from all the videos I've watched, it just comes down to Sharp being jealous and like wanting more attention than he was getting. And Sharp, you gotta take it from me, bro. Whether you say Skinnyfromthe9 doesn't know what he's talking about and Skinnyfromthe9 is a joke, bro, I've been there, bro. I signed a $5 million deal to LA Reid. At one point in my life, bro, I had the masses paying attention to me, right? Everybody was fucking with me. Like, the fans was fucking with me. I'm doing millions of views. You know, I'm everywhere I go, I'm getting spotted. People want to take pictures with me. I'm getting all the pussy. Everybody wants to be next to me. I know what it feels like, bro. And then I know what it feels like to lose momentum and lose it, and then now nobody's checking for you. And that has nothing to do with anybody around you. It has to do with you, you know? And that's what I realized about myself, that you can't blame nobody else for your lack of views. You can't blame nobody else for you not getting picked for certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because numbers don't lie. And whatever reason you're not getting booked, and whatever reason you're not on the show, and whatever reason Adam may have not been paying attention to you no more, it's because the numbers went down, bro. And that's your job to keep the numbers up. In my case, it's a little different because I just felt like my career was sabotaged. You know, I got jumped, I got robbed, I got snitch allegations. I got a lot of stuff that was out of my control, you know? So that's really what I got to say about the situation. I think, who do you think will win in a fight? Almighty Suspect or Sharp? Almighty Suspect been punching on shit. But, you know, Sharp went to prison, so don't get it twisted. And you know, one other thing I feel like about the whole thing with Sharp and just Sharp leaving no jumper, when you compare it to like AD and T-Rail, like there's a big difference. Like Adam invited AD to be on no jumper, right? And AD came on there with like a positive image, you know, like a friendly, cool guy. Like the fan, and same thing with T-Rail. Like the fans, like they liked them because they were so cool. From a fan's perspective, they were so cool and friendly. When you compare it to Sharp, Sharp was also invited on the podcast from Adam, but Sharp's whole gimmick was more like being mean to women and like yelling at women. Like it was more of a negative image. Does that make sense? So when AD and T-Rail left, it was very easy for them to like play the sympathy act, like, oh, like make the people feel bad for us, you know? But it doesn't work for Sharp because Sharp is his character was mean to women. That's one. And it's like whenever a man was trying Sharp on camera, Sharp didn't have the same energy that he had for women. So it's like when you compare it to like AD and T-Rail versus Sharp, the fans and everything's gonna be different. You got two friendly guys who are nice to everybody for the most part versus a guy who was kind of just like mean. Like the fans are gonna side and have sympathy for AD and them versus Sharp. You know, people are just gonna tune in for the entertainment, you know? So like I don't see that's just my take from the situation. Like that's how I break it down. And if I had to give any advice to Sharp, bro, just be like more humble. You know, ain't nobody saying you're a bad guy. I just feel like you need to be more humble and like just be a little more touch of reality. Like it's okay to feel like you're the best, but that's just to boost your self-esteem. You can't project that on everybody else because not everybody else is gonna agree with that. You know, you just gotta be more humble and like don't let the money change you. You know, I feel like when Sharp started getting this podcast money, like it kind of got to his head. Like maybe he was getting paid the most there. You know? And when you get paid the most somewhere, that's like LeBron. Like LeBron probably gets paid the most money in the whole NBA, right? He's the most humblest guy. You'll never see him acting like he's better than anybody. Even though we all know this, he won't act like it. You know what I'm saying? That's like when you compare LeBron James and Allen Iverson. Like Allen Iverson was really good and he was the best at his time. But his attitude and his image, you know, hindered him. You know? So when you break it down, like Sharp just needs to reinvent himself and like just not be so cocky, bro. It's your boy Skinnyfromthe9, Big Skinny, not the mini. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think that Sharp is too cocky? Do you think that he would beat Almighty Suspect up? What's your thoughts on Almighty Suspect? And what do you think about the watch? Like the whole watch thing. Was the watch fake? Let me know in the comments, man. It's your boy Skinnyfromthe9. Peace.